Academic sabbatical. Well, this can extend anywhere from a couple of months to an year or so, provided you will be exposed to the maximum number of surgical super specialties. Most importantly, find a place where you will be allowed or entertained into the OT to observe different super specialties and try to observe different surgeons of different specialties. There are different anatomies and different approaches to the anatomy, and to do that they have a different skill set. Each one has its own beauty. You need to be able to know what is the difference or what vibes with you more. You have to go to the theater, and not just where you are posted into. You have to make sure that you rotate either by the academic schedule or by yourself voluntarily. You can just go and ask the unit chief. The beauty is, at least in super specialty surgeries, if you really are interested and you approach the right person, that you want to observe the procedure, you want to observe the surgical super specialty, people will be happy to let you in. Yeah, if you do it for a day or two, then that doesn't show much of an interest and connect. So just be bold and approach the unit chief that I want to be an observer throughout your OT routine for a week or two. It should work. And this whole approach, I called it as surgical dating. It is kind of dating different super specialties. Every specialty has a vibe to it. Every operation theater has a different dynamics to it. A neurosurgery theater, a cardiovascular surgery theater. The more you are exposed to these different environments, the more are the chances that you will be able to relate to one of these. Or at least you will be sure that I don't want to do this. I'm not into this. And let these decisions of choosing or not choosing be based on a reality check, not upon you liked the way how that consultant was, or you didn't like the way how that other consultant was, and so you don't want to get into the branch, or just not about you liked the subject. The subject is quite entirely different from what happens actually when you do it in practice. So let that be based on a real experience with the super specialty. So like in a relationship, we check that do we vibe with each other or no. The same principle can be applied here. When you go to different surgical OTs, you can just check whether you vibe to this environment or no. That is a very trustworthy parameter to choose or to not choose a surgical super specialty. While being in the operation theater, critical analysis and observation is the key. You should not be bothered about what are the steps of this procedure initially. There are a hell lot of things that you have to observe. How the chief scrubs into the theater, the way he talks with the people around him, the way he conducts himself, the way he sutures, the way he uses his left hand, the way he asks his assistant to assist him. Your observation should not be only about what is happening in the procedure, or it should not be limited to just the procedure. Difference between seeing and observing, we all are aware of it, but now we have to get that into practice. So while you are into this branch dating, if you feed yourself with these right set of information, I believe that you'll come up with at least 2 differentials of choosing a surgical super specialty, and you'll be sure about what not to choose. At the same time, while this branch dating is going on, I would want you to read further about different eminent surgeons, their contribution to surgery. Especially if you are liking a branch, start reading more about the history of it, how it evolved, how the surgeons contributed to its evolution, and how it has become right now, and why it is the way it is right now. Start listening to TED Talks, start reading books and biographies of surgeons, start seeing movies about surgery and surgeons. So feed yourself with this right amount and set of academic information in this academic sabbatical, I suggest. Also, the importance of digging into the history and the pioneers of surgery. I feel that recently we have lost the whole art of getting inspired by a giant. For example, if a small kid wants to be a cricketer, he's very sure what he's looking up to. He knows he wants to become like a Tendulkar or Virat Kohli. If I ask you at this point of time, after your surgical residency, whom you want to become like, do you have at least 2-3 ideals in your mind? You should have. I know we rarely do have. Our maximum is our unit chief or the professor around who is good. But let us read and explore and search beyond that. Know what people are doing right now and what people have done. So let us raise our benchmarks and not just keep it limited to our hospital or institution in this academic sabbatical. The next thing that you can do is to get a first-hand experience of the actual practice that you will be doing 5 and 6 years down the line. So request your consultant to be a part of his private practice, to be a part of his institutional practice. Go with him, ask him doubts, and not just him, try to collaborate with different surgeons in the town. You should know what is the charge of particular procedures in a government setup and in a private setup. How are the financial dynamics working? How is the surgeon getting paid and how much is he getting paid? You should be knowing about what is happening around the whole surgery. Don't limit yourself just to the subject and the procedure of the surgery. There is a hell lot of dynamics around a surgery happening. Try to dig deep into all the possible aspects during this sabbatical and not keep on doing the trial and error and then learning thing. You can always learn from someone else's experience and you need not always experience it, so that you can do it more efficiently when the time comes. So that was my bit on what after general surgery residency. But to end with, I would like you to remind of a very beautiful approach towards work and life is to develop 3 different hobbies. 1 that keeps you healthy, 2nd that keeps you creative, and 3rd that earns money for you. If you find these 3 hobbies, life will be more beautiful and exuberant. I hope this video helps you analyze yourself a little better and in turn bring about a little difference in your lives. So if it did, please like, share and subscribe. Do let me know in the comment sections if you want me to talk on a particular topic in the subsequent videos. I would be happy to share further on it. Thank you.